Backlash 2025 is right around the corner, literally this Saturday. So I'm going to go through each match on the card and give my prediction as to who will win the match and what might happen throughout the match. Let's start off with ladies first. So we have Becky Lynch versus the Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. Now in this match, I think there is a clear winner, and it might come to us as a surprise to many of you, but I think Lyra Valkyria loses here. I think Becky Lynch actually wins, and I think that is the right call. The reason I think Becky Lynch should win here is because Becky Lynch is going to be able to create Lyra Valkyria a little bit more. Lyra Valkyria, in my opinion, has been struggling to get over with the crowd. She's just been struggling to connect, in my opinion. She has all the in-ring ability. There's no doubt about it. But when it comes to connecting with the audience, she definitely lacks in that category. So, in my opinion, I think having Lyra lose here is the right call. I think Becky Lynch winning here is just a way to help Lyra find her character a little bit more. I think Becky Lynch will hold this belt maybe up until SummerSlam, and then Lyra Valkyria beats her at SummerSlam. And I think it should happen at SummerSlam because SummerSlam is one of the biggest stages, and let this just be let it be a rematch of what is coming on Saturday. But that time Becky is the champion and Lyra is looking to beat her. You know, I think maybe Lyra has a match with Becky throughout the summer, and it's a match where Lyra probably loses, and it's for the IC title. I think that's definitely something it should be for. But yeah, I think you need to show Lyra's struggle throughout the summer. I think that should be the whole point here, is Lyra should struggle throughout the summer, act as if she's basically getting beat up on the entire time, and it's like there's no hope for Lyra. This is a great way for her to basically gain the crowd a little bit. The crowd is cheering her on. To get sick of Becky beating her up and all this stuff. I think this is just a fantastic way to do it. We saw down in NXT, Lyra was made because of Becky. Becky won the NXT title, and then Lyra came in and beat her for it, and then Lyra was holding the NXT title. So I could easily see something along those lines where they do the same thing with the Intercontinental Championship. Becky wins it from her here at Backlash, but then Lyra comes in at around SummerSlam and beats her for it. Now, I think Lyra sticks around the mid-card because I honestly don't think she's ready to be moved up to the world title scene. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Maybe she has a go with Io Sky. Maybe she has a match with her. And it allows Io Sky to have like a match that really isn't a world title scene match, but it allows her to kind of just do something else with her world title for the time being. So maybe you do that with her. I have no idea, but I don't think Lyra wins by any means. I think this is just a match to put on Io's resume at this point. But either way you slice it, I really do believe that having Becky Lynch win here is the right call, and honestly I think having Becky Lynch kind of dominate her throughout this match is probably the right decision here. I don't think Lyra looking that good in this match is probably the play here. I mean, she can obviously look fine, I guess you can say, but having Becky dominate her, I think will go a long way for her winning down the road in SummerSlam, which a lot of you have a problem with thinking long picture, long term. You guys always want to just see what happens and have it happen right away. Guys, you got to think about the long-term storytelling here. There is more to it than just wrestling and looking good in a single match. You know, you got to just think of it as a story, a long-ass story, and when is that chapter going to be written for Lyra? So, in my opinion, I think it should be written around SummerSlam, and I think she dethrones the titan that is Becky Lynch. I think that is the right call here, come SummerSlam. Now let's move on to a match that I'm actually kind of looking forward to. I don't know about all of you, but that is Pat McAfee versus Gunther. I don't know why I'm looking forward to this match, but I really honestly am. I'm one of those people who loves Pat McAfee. I know there's a lot of people who don't in the wrestling community. I know there's a lot of people who don't like him, but I'm one of the few who actually do like him. And yes, I will admit there are moments where McAfee is kind of obnoxious and just like shut up sometimes. But you know what? It's just showing that he's excited, you know, that's all it is. And people just seem to not be able to understand that, and I really don't get why. Now, I've seen multiple ideas for this match tossed out there, and in my opinion, I think believe it or not, I think Pat McAfee winning here is going to be what happens, because first and foremost, this would not be a match or nor an idea if there wasn't something long-term in the works for Gunther. And so having Gunther just beat Pat McAfee for ultimately no reason whatsoever, I don't think that's going to be what happens here. I think this is setting up something in the future, and that goes off of the other idea that I have seen, and that is Goldberg comes in and costs Pat McAfee the match, and this is setting up Goldberg's retirement match for SummerSlam. And I'm pretty sure Gunther is going to beat Goldberg at SummerSlam, but it is Goldberg's final match. It is his retirement match, and I think this is a hell of a way to put over Gunther. Now, in my opinion, I never really was a huge fan of Goldberg, I gotta be honest with you, but either way you slice it, this would be a great way to put over Gunther going against a legend like Goldberg. I think this would be great for Gunther. You know, they teased it at Bad Blood, but then they never came back to it, and I guess it might just be because Goldberg really wasn't ready to do anything just yet. So this is a great way to return to it. I think Goldberg returning in this match, either costing Gunther the match or disqualifying Gunther, whatever the case may be. I don't know how you get Gunther disqualified here. You know, I really don't, because if Goldberg attacks Gunther, that's gonna just disqualify Pat McAfee. So I don't know how you get it to happen that way, but whatever the case may be, I think Gunther lays out Goldberg, or Goldberg lays out Gunther, and Pat McAfee just covers him and wins the match. I think that genuinely is going to be what happens, but throughout the majority of the match, I am not going to lie, I think Gunther is going to be in complete control. I think Gunther is going to be dominating him, and yeah, I don't see any way else you put it. I really don't see a world where Pat McAfee looks good against Gunther. If they do something along those lines, that is just going to hurt Gunther even more than what he's had the past couple of weeks now. I mean, his loss to Jey Uso completely hurt him. That has been terrible for him. That is going to weigh over his head for a while now. I don't know when that's going to go away. It does not seem anytime soon. So this is a great way to just kind of kickstart things, let Gunther go in a different direction for a little while and feud with Goldberg. I mean, I think this is a great idea, you know. Obviously, though, the problem is that SummerSlam is at the end of the summer. You know, it's towards the end of the summer, so Gunther has to go through the entire summer of not really having a direction. So that's the problem here, is I don't really know where you have the payoff, what you do in the meantime, because I highly doubt Goldberg is going to be around for that entire time. And if he is, that'll surprise me, but again, I don't think he will be, and I don't think you can just go Goldberg like crashing Gunther matches, or Gunther coming in and attacking Goldberg when he's cutting a promo. I don't know, just you can't do that throughout the entire summer. So in my opinion, you got to find something to do for both of them, and I think, I don't know, having Goldberg come in and cost Gunther is probably the right idea here. I think this is where you go for Backlash. I think this is where you go. Next, we have the Fatal 4-Way match between Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and the United States Champion, Jacob Fatu. I think this is just a great match to put over Jacob Fatu as the United States Champion. I don't think there's anything going to be special about it. I think everyone is going to have their moment to shine. I think this is going to be a pretty solid match, honestly. 4 great in-ring competitors. I really do believe that this is going to be a solid match. I think everyone's going to get their chance to shine. And yeah, there's not really any way else to put it. I have no idea if you have Solo come out there and maybe help him win. I have no idea. So then Solo can prove that he's obviously been helping Jacob Fatu this entire time. I have no idea if you go that route or not. And maybe that's his way to show his loyalty to Jacob Fatu. You know, because obviously Solo's kind of been the one to get this match up and running for him. So yeah, with that being said, I honestly don't know if they go that route. And maybe they do, maybe they don't, but either way you slice it, that's been my favorite phrase today, I don't know why, but anyway you slice it, I think this would be just a damn good match for him. Again, Jacob Fatu is Jacob Fatu. There's just no getting around that. Jacob Fatu is a beast, and again, I think this, again, is just going to be a great match for every single one of them. I think Jacob Fatu retains here. I don't think anything crazy happens. The first few PLEs after WrestleMania are more or less glorified house shows. These are just to kind of showcase the new champions that they have right now. And yes, I have Becky Lynch winning, but let's be real here. They'll have at least one champion get dethroned, and it's normally the champion that did not lose at WrestleMania. So they finally lose come Backlash, and more times than not, it's the champion that may not have defended that exact title at WrestleMania. That happened last year with the Kabuki Warriors. They had a triple threat match at Mania, and then the next PLE at Backlash, they had a tag match for the world titles against Bianca and Jade, and they lost. I think the same thing is going to happen with Lyra come Backlash. I think Lyra was in a tag match with Becky against Liv and Raquel for the women's tag titles, and then come this one, they're going to win. I think Becky is going to beat Lyra for the IC title. I think they always have at least maybe one champion change hands the following PLE, and if they continue that same formula, I feel like it will be Lyra, and I think it is the right call, obviously. But Jacob Fatu here, again, I really don't see a world where they have him lose here. Jacob Fatu, you're trying to build him up. Having him lose here, even if it means him not getting pinned, I just don't think you take the belt off of him. He hasn't had a long enough reign yet, you know? And I would like to see him feud with each one of these guys in this match individually. More or less, I want to see him feud with Drew McIntyre, but I think this is Drew McIntyre's send-off match. I think this is going to be his final match before he is gone for a while, filming the movie that he's supposed to be filming. So maybe you have him feud with Priest for a little while, because we've seen the LA Knight thing for a little while now, so maybe LA Knight, it's time for him to move up after this match. But whatever the case may be, I think this is just going to be a damn good match. And yeah, that's really all I got for you. This is just going to be a retain for Jacob Fatu. Now we have Penta versus the Intercontinental Champion on the men's side, Dirty Dominic Mysterio. This one honestly scares me a little bit because, yes, I did say that I think there's only going to be one person that loses, and I think that's going to be Lyra, but I don't know, when you revisit this match only a couple weeks after you already had Dom win, it just scares me because yeah, a lot of times that's how champions lose their title, is if they face the same guy within a few weeks, they lose to that guy. That has been a very, very simple and followed formula forever. And if that's the same formula they reuse here, I'm not going to be happy. I think Dom really should win here. And I'm sure there's sure as shit going to be shenanigans. I don't know where it starts, because Finn and AJ Styles seem to be having something going on, and then JD and Finn obviously kind of butt heads a little bit. I don't know, Finn might come out and try to help Dom win, maybe he helps Dom win. I don't know what the case may be, but maybe there are no shenanigans. You never know, maybe there aren't. And this is just a match to put Dom over clean, have Dom actually beat Penta clean. That would be huge for Dom, and I don't want to say this would be bad for Penta, because the problem is Penta's already way too strong, in my opinion. I think Penta has been protected way too much. I think that guy is really overrated. I don't see the love that everyone has for him. I don't see it. Penta, he's not as good as everyone thinks he is. He does that little stupid ass dance way too much. It's like he's emoting. And then that stupid Cierro Miedo, he does that shit way too much. And it's just like, dude, stop. It's not cool. It's just annoying at this point. That slogan is just stupid. And yeah, as you can tell, I'm not a huge Penta guy at all, so I really don't believe Penta should win here, but that's not even favoritism coming in. I just don't believe Penta's ready for the belt, and I think the crowd is going to cheer Dom, so there is no reason in hell to have Dom lose here. I think Dom winning is the right call, and in my opinion, believe it or not, I think maybe having Dom take a beating here and having Penta basically look strong the entire match, and then Dom somehow is able to pull it out at the end, is going to do wonders for Dom's credibility, one, but two, show that Dom has a heart of a champion, and he's someone who's not going to give up, and he's going to find a way to pull out the win at the end, whether it be lie, cheat, steal. Maybe you show him finally using the gimmick of Eddie Guerrero, the lie, cheat, steal. He finds a way to cheat throughout the match, and he wins. You find a way for him to do it, that would be phenomenal. I mean, seriously, this would be the place to do it. A good amount of eyes are finally on him. Like PLEs are way more watched than regular episodes of Raw and Smackdown, and so this would just be a great way to kind of showcase Dirty Dom. And I think this is a great way to do it without him having any interference. You know, let him do this gimmick. Let him live up to it. I really would love to see how he does with this gimmick, because I think he could do really, really good with it. And last but not least, we have the match that everyone, I have a feeling, is looking forward to, and that is Randy Orton versus the undisputed WWE champion John Cena. And I don't know why they still call it undisputed, because it's not undisputed, because Jey Uso is a world champion. So yeah, but either way, this match, I don't know if it will be good or not, because Randy obviously is still good. John Cena, on the other hand, I think people want to say he looked good in that Cody Rhodes match. Guys, I'm sorry. That match was horrendous. I don't know I don't know if that was John Cena's fault or not. I could honestly not tell. That's how bad that match was. I couldn't even tell who was doing the shits in that match, because Cody Rhodes has put on bangers the last few matches that he's had, and that match was fucking terrible. That was a terrible ass match. Terrible ass finish. Don't even get me started with that. But either way, unfortunately, I don't see Randy Orton winning here. In his hometown, nonetheless, I don't see Randy Orton winning here. I think John Cena is going to get his first title defense, and he's going to retain. And I think John Cena is honestly going to put Randy Orton through the ringer. I think this might be one of those matches where John Cena kind of humiliates him in front of his home crowd, kind of like Roman Reigns did to Sami Zayn back in Montreal, Canada at Elimination Chamber 2 years ago. I think they kind of pull a similar thing here, and they have John Cena basically beat the shit out of Randy Orton and kind of show how brutal this new John Cena is. I think this is a fantastic way to do it, but it is unfortunate that this is being billed as one last time, because obviously that means we're never going to see this match again. This is obviously the last time we get Randy Orton versus John Cena, and I am sure a lot of you wanted this to be John Cena's final match, and me included. I wanted it to be, but we're already doing it, and it's unfortunate that it's happening in May when it should be happening in December. I genuinely think they should have kept these two far away from each other up until December or November when you finally kickstart this feud. But yeah, unfortunately that's not the case, and yeah, I'm not as thrilled about it as other people are, but whatever the case may be, I still think it'll be a solid match, I guess you could call it. I don't know. Again, I don't know if it'll be solid or not. I want to give it hope. So I'm going to have some hope here, and I think this is going to kind of be similar to the Cody Rhodes and John Cena match. I'm praying to God it's not that similar. I'm praying to God that it's a little bit better because Randy Orton's involved in it. But whatever the case may be, man, I still think they're going to do whatever they can to put on a show. And whether it be John Cena looking brutal as hell against him, I don't know. But whatever the case may be, I think this is just going to be a great, great match, and I'm just really looking forward to it. Backlash this year is kind of looking like a glorified house show in some regards, but I don't care. At least these matches look entertaining, and that's kind of been the thing with some of these matches that are, or some of these PLEs that are like considered glorified house shows, like Saturday Night's Main Event. A lot of them have good matches on the card, so honestly, it doesn't bother me. Like this one, Randy Orton versus John Cena, I think it's going to be a really, really good match. And yes, I was shitting on it, but I'm just going to pray, okay? I shouldn't say it's going to be a really, really good match. I'm just going to pray that it is, but we'll just have to see come this Saturday. So as you can tell, Backlash is looking pretty good in my opinion. I'm looking forward to this card. This is going to be a fun Saturday. Yes, I did say it. It kind of looks a little bit like a glorified house show, but I guess that's okay for the first I don't know. It always is the first PLE after WrestleMania. It always is a glorified house show, and that's why I think they also try to make sure at least maybe one champion gets dethroned, so it's not considered a glorified house show. The PLE after WrestleMania, it makes you actually want to tune in and watch it. They've had that track record going for them, so I'm praying that there's something similar to that. Lyra, no offense, but you should lose. Dirty Dom, you should retain. And yeah, those are the two matches I think are going to have something happen in them that are likely to have one of them lose. Dom, I'm praying to God, actually wins, and I'm praying to God they have Lyra be the one that gets dethroned. But whatever the case may be, I'm just excited for Saturday. So please tell me down below if you agree with my predictions. I'm pretty sure they're pretty straightforward. You know, I don't think they're anything too surprising. But yeah, please let me know down below if you agree or not. And until next time, see ya.